Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about how to track learner progress in your Product Academy courses and how to evaluate performance on deliverables. We will also take a few minutes to look at how to access course data and how to encourage your learners to continue through the course. All these things are tied together. So the way that I'm going to show this to you is I'm going to use two resources that you have access to. I'm logged in as a product advisor. So right now, the view that I am sharing with you is the same view that you see when you open up your courses. So the two courses that I have open right now are I have the TEALearn Product Advisor Training. This is the course I shared with you that has resources on how to facilitate your courses. And we're also going to use a Product Academies course. This one is the math teacher course, but the same permissions will be true for all of the courses. The first thing we're going to look at is how to add due dates to discussions and exit tickets. And then we will look at what that does to the student calendar. All right. So while it is true that you can't edit the content of the discussions or the questions on the exit tickets, you are able to edit when those items are due for your participants. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So we'll start with looking at a discussion. They're a little bit different. Click on your discussion to open it. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to choose Edit. And as you scroll down, under this Options section, you are going to check Add to Student To Do. And here we're going to choose a date to make this due. We're going to say that this is going to be due on July the 25th. That is all you need to do. Then click Save. Next, let's go ahead and add the exit ticket. Scroll down to the bottom of that module, open up our Module 1 Competency-Based Assessment, choose Edit, and here you're going to set a due date. Available from dates are a little bit different than due dates. Those create a specific window of time when you want an exit ticket or a discussion to be opened from. So for example, if I am hosting a face-to-face session and I want to make sure that all participants take the exit ticket during that session and not before and not after, that would be a use case for the available from settings. That means that no one can do it before that time and no one can do it randomly after they leave. Choose Save. And now I'm going to go and look and see what that's done to the calendar. So as I go over here on the calendar, now I'm going to see when I open it up and I go to July that I have things due on the 25th. One of the great things about the calendar is that participants who are enrolled in multiple courses can see everything that they have going on one calendar. And on the right-hand side, there's a key that tells you what color is associated with which course. And the calendar entries themselves actually provide more information for the learner as well. So when I click on this module on competency-based assessment, I can see which course it's in, and I can move straight to that assignment from there. One of the great things about the calendar is that participants who are enrolled in multiple courses can see everything that they have going on one calendar. And on the right-hand side, there's a key that tells you what color is associated with which course. And the calendar entries themselves actually provide more information for the learner as well. So when I click on this module on competency-based assessment, I can see which course it's in, and I can move straight to that assignment from there. There's more information in the TEAlearn Product Advisor training course related to the Canvas calendar and the different things that you can do with that tool. The Canvas Instructor Guide is really going to be your best friend for step-by-step how to do specific functions with the calendar. There's also the videos that are a nice overview of what you can do with the calendar, and Canvas keeps these videos up to date. So anytime there's a change, the content is automatically updated, which is really fantastic. Another thing that you can do to support your learners is to make discussions graded. Now, if you do that, what happens is that discussion now shows up inside of the gradebook. And that's a decision that you need to make locally as to whether or not you expect your participants to complete discussions. So if I want to make sure that my students are completing discussion 3.3, that's due on July the 25th, I'm going to open that discussion back up. And I'm going to choose edit. And underneath the options, I'm going to turn this into a graded discussion. Here I can choose whether I'm going to give points for this, which I do not recommend that you do because that can mess with your gradebook. And instead just set it to complete or incomplete. So have they done it or have they not? And then choose save. This require peer reviews function sets it up so that other participants in the classroom automatically are assigned a discussion question to give feedback on. That would be for you to play with locally and determine whether that's something that you want to include in your course. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose save, and then we will take a look at the gradebook. The gradebook is going to be the easiest way for you to tell how people are progressing through your course. It keeps track of everyone who has submitted a required activity, like a discussion that is graded, or an exit ticket. The exit tickets automatically appear in the gradebook because they are assessments. So let's go over here and take a look at what's going on in the gradebook. Inside of your gradebook, you will see that now you have a discussion here. And if people have submitted the discussion, it's going to show up. Here we can see that we don't have a lot of activity on this discussion. You can see how people are performing inside of different activities. And you're also able to take some very specific actions to support your learners to complete things that they may or may not have done. So one of the great things about the gradebook is that you are able to choose an assignment, and for that assignment, you are able to sort. You can go to Speed Grader and see what people have submitted, and you can also message students who. Let's take a look at this one. This sends individual emails to students, and you get to choose what it is that you are sending it for. So are we sending for students who have not yet submitted, or have not been graded, or who are marked incomplete? You're choosing which option. The same is true for your quizzes. We can message students who have not submitted, have not been graded, scored more than, or scored less than. And this is just a really fantastic tool. It's a great way for you to be able to reach out to students quickly and to send reminders for them to do things. You can read more about the gradebook and access the tutorials for the gradebook by going to the Product Advisor training course and reviewing the information that's here. You can also go directly to the Canvas guides and explore the gradebook functions there. Another way to encourage participants to continue working through the course or to let them know that there's something that needs to happen at a specific time is to use announcements. Announcements are going to have this little crossed down eyeball, which means that participants cannot see anything until you actually create an announcement for them to see. So you have a full rich content editor here that you can provide announcements using. You can add links from the course, images. You can create a video recording of yourself explaining something. You can allow liking for your announcements. And once an announcement is published, then this will show up for your participants. The final thing we're going to look at today is how to tell how people are doing in your course. So not just how to track what they've done, but how to analyze where they're struggling and where they are doing well. The Product Advisor training course has a module dedicated to this. down here at the bottom. And basically, there are three places where you can see how people are doing: quiz statistics, new analytics, and the gradebook. So let's first start with quiz statistics. So, what is this thing? Whenever you are in a course, you are able to access all your quizzes by clicking in your left navigation. So let's go ahead and check that out. So we've clicked on our left navigation, and now we see what quizzes we have here in this course. When you want to dig in a little bit and get a little deeper into that course, now I'm looking at a single competency based assessment. And this assessment is going to have three different functions that I'm able to do. I can look at the quiz statistics, I can moderate the quiz, and I can use SpeedGrader. So, what is quiz statistics? Here is where I can see how people did. So I can look here and I can see the breakdown of questions, who responded incorrectly and what were their responses, which questions seemed to be no problem, and which questions created um, a little bit of trouble for learners. I can see the percentage of people who answered each question correctly. And this information really just gives me some details about how everybody did. You can dig in a little bit deeper with your student analysis and your item analysis. This you won't need to use this section filter function. The next piece that you can do is to look at. Well, actually, let's take a step back and go back to that other function. And we're going to look at what SpeedGrader is. So here, when I look at SpeedGrader, I can actually go individual by individual and give them feedback on what they've done or where they went wrong, or tell them how fabulous they are. I can also send them a little message right here that will send them a notification that says, hey, go ahead and complete this. Or if they did not do well, I can suggest they do it again or ask if they want to talk about it. So these are ways that I can see how my students are doing in the course. New analytics. So new analytics it's still called new analytics. It's been around for a little while. I recommend taking a look at the Canvas guides and or watching the tutorial. It gives you the very best information about how to use new analytics, but where do you find it inside of your course? So here I am in my course, but I don't see anything that says anything about new analytics here. New analytics is going to be found on your homepage. It's over here on the right-hand side. This is also a place where I can create announcements directly from. I can view the course stream, which is what's been published and what's coming up. Right now, though, I'm going to go ahead and click on New Analytics. It gives me a little pop-up to give me some insight into how to use this tool. I can look at the overall grade for my course. This one is fantastic at 94.17%. I can check in with my students individually. I can run reports, missing assignments, late assignments. Remember that late assignments report only works if I've assigned due dates to my activities. And then you do have the ability to excuse assignments, but that is the prerogative of the instructor and what you've determined is correct for your course. Course activity gives you insight into how much time people are spending inside of your course. So if you've asked people to use their professional judgment and move through the course and make sure they're interacting with it, you can actually run a report and see how much time were they spending in that module. Did they only spend 45 seconds in an entire module and then do the exit ticket, or did they actually spend time working through the content? These are things that you can dig into if you are interested. I think that the most useful tool to everyone is really going to be that gradebook. It's the simplest way to see who has done what. You can sort your columns by what's missing. You can actually set it up so that different assignments will make something show up as a 0 at some point if it's not completed. It's really up to you to determine how to best use this gradebook. But I think it's the best place to get an overview of what's going on in your course. All right, thank you for your time. And if you have questions, as always, please feel free to reach out to me by email or to reach out to the TEALearn Help Desk or reach out to your Product Academy's contacts. They can help you as well. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video training.